Hello students, now we shall be dealing with the session 16 and it is to do with the second stanza of the poem Ode to Autumn by John Keats. This poem is prescribed for the first BSc and first BCA students of semester 1 under the compulsory foundation course in English, Mangalore University. So, the topic for discussion in this video is the second stanza of the poem Ode to Autumn by John Keats. Before we go to the second stanza, I would like to give you a short history or a short paraphrase of the first stanza. So, Ode to Autumn is one of the last poems written by Keats. Autumn is the season of bounty. It is the season of mists and of ripening of fruits. The autumn season is personified as the close bosom friend of the maturing sun. Autumn conspires with the sun to bring about maturity of fruits. The poet describes the vines running round the edges of branches of the branches of the apple trees, bent nearly to the ground with the weight of the apples. The apple trees in the cottage garden are covered with moss and fruits have ripened to the core. The fruits are full of sweet gold. The hazelnuts are filled with sweet kernel. Flowers bloom more in this season. The bees taste the sweetness of these flowers. The bees appear to feel that the warmth of summer will never cease, for their sticky cells are overflowing with the honey. Now, we will be dealing with the second stanza in detail, that is from line 12 to 22. In the second stanza, autumn season is personified as a harvester, second as a tired reaper, third as a gleaner, and fourth as a cider presser. Now, let us look at each of the personifications of autumn season in the second stanza one by one. So the autumn season is first personified, or it appears in the form of a harvester. The harvester or the autumn season is seen as separating the chaff from the grains, and she's collecting all the grains. After that, the autumn season feels tired and she is seated carelessly on the granary floor while the wind ruffles or plays with her hair. The autumn season's hair is gently lifted by the breeze. Now, secondly, autumn is personified as a tired reaper. The reaper falls asleep on the furrow during the course of her work. So the reaper is engaged in reaping the corn and she is overcome by the sleep-inducing smell of the poppies. The reaper falls asleep, drugged by the fragrance of the poppies. Thirdly, autumn season is seen in the form of a gleaner who collects the grains from the field. And the gleaner is seen walking on her way home, carrying the weight of the corn on her head, and very carefully she is crossing the stream or a brook with a load on her head. Finally, autumn season is personified as a cider presser. Cider is apple juice. So in the first stanza we have seen that the autumn season bears a lot of fruits, the apples, and these are collected and they are put into a cider press to collect the juice. And autumn season is seen sitting by the cider press as she patiently watches the apple juice oozing out of the press. So these are the four personifications of autumn season. And so here Keats has given autumn a concrete personality. All the activities that we see in the autumn season have been picturesquely described. Autumn is seen in four distinct guises, each corresponding to a particular occupation of the autumn season. So now, a small paraphrase of this second stanza. Autumn season is seen in various forms on the field. Autumn season is personified as a harvester sitting near the granary store with a hair uplifted by the wind. Autumn is personified as a reaper who has fallen asleep, drugged by the fragrance of the poppies. Thirdly, autumn season is represented as a gleaner going home, carrying the day's labor or whatever she has gathered on her head and crossing the stream steadily without losing her balance. And lastly, autumn is personified as a cider presser. Autumn is seen crushing the apples and watching patiently the oozing out of the juice hour by hour. So that is the explanation for the second stanza of the poem Ode to Autumn by John Keats. Please refer to your textbooks for the poem, both the first BSc and BCA students of first semester Mangalore University. Thank you, students.